Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. All stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's jump right to approval of minutes.
Motion to approve is written.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Any public comment?
No.
Okay. Reporter has no comment. Okay, let's move on to discussion items. First discussion item I want to talk about is a reminder that our community budget forum is going to be held following the regular business meeting on Tuesday, March 21st at 7 p.m. in the boardroom. We're also going to discuss our 23-24 meeting calendar. And first we'll go up to our discussion piece of the electric signage at the high school layout. So, and there's been a couple different options kicked around with introducing a digital sign on Stockton Ave, and we should probably just discuss what our thoughts are with that and what the best placement is for WCS. Who wants to start? Kevin?
No, personally, I've seen other schools that have these signs. I think they can be helpful, sharing information to the community and that type of stuff, but the placement is a key factor on where that placement is.
So some of the options we talked about were down in Stockton, obviously offset from and perpendicular to 206 as a spot. The problem is that conflicts with the monument that's down there, and it's quite congested, things of that nature. So we should be open to some ideas, some different ideas. And is there a different campus we want to put it on? I mean, is there a different entrance? Would it look better at the bus garage? Where would we get most of our information out?
Bus garage probably be better. Yeah, everybody goes through town, so why wouldn't?
Right.
Yeah, the amount of traffic you get on Main Street versus the amount of traffic that comes over here, it may be better for us to get the word out across the village and the town and all our residences down there.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any restrictions from the donor for this? You said a lot of it was being contributed.
I have not heard of, we can definitely ask the anonymous donor. I can have Rick look into that if there is a placement concern. I had not heard that there's a placement concern at all, as long as it was on one of our campuses.
Yeah.
He actually had a placement concern here due to all the new construction. He was worried that it could possibly cause a little bit of damage. Wanted to stay away from that. The bus garage is actually ideal for him probably to get in and out.
Okay.
Quite frankly.
And the 75 feet, I'm guessing, would still, from the center of the road, would still apply over there?
75 feet is because it's a state road.
Because that's
The
considered.
town road, I do not believe we have, because it's school property, I'll follow up on this tomorrow. I believe we don't have any zoning concerns.
Well, that's still considered state.
Main Street.
That Main Street is still
Yeah.
owned by the state?
Yeah.
So
Considered
it'll be
state.
75 feet, I believe, from the center of the road back.
And if, worst case scenario, if you had to ask the zoning board for a variance or something like that, I mean, that could also be applied for. That 75 foot is a general. I think if you want to vary that, we'd have some more paperwork to do and more requests, I'm sure. Because in my opinion, if it goes down the bus garage, you're going to want to tuck it in somewhere near where the grass area is, where the bridge is, off your paved areas, where it's not going to disturb snow plowing, where it's not going to disturb your tree sales, things of that nature. So, you can't probably get 75 foot off there and still have it visible from Main Street without tucking it into the trees in that area. So, if we want to, if that's where we want to go and that's the direction we want to give, then I think we just start down that path and say, where's the best spot down there for it to be placed? I think it's a great idea to have it down the center of the village.
Yeah.
We have 3 campuses technically, and the bus garage itself gets way more traffic than anything else. So to get the word out, everybody has to go through that area.
As long as we stay away from here. This down here just does not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too tight and congested. Okay.
With a fence in front of the bus garage too, though, I think that would have some bearing on being able to get into a smaller area, less distance.
Yep.
Because that rail, that's a post and rail, The other thing is, there's already businesses on Main Street that have signs that are
Yeah.
a lot closer than 75 feet.
Right.
To the center of the road. I mean,
Yep.
pretty much every one of the gas stations and,
Mhm.
you know,
Very true.
the diner, I mean, there's just, so I mean,
Yep.
it's. would
I
be
think
just
that's
something
more of
worth-
an ideal spot to
Yep.
get the information out to the community, and that's
Right.
the intent of it, so.
So I think if we have a consensus that we wanna, that's the direction we wanna head,
Yeah.
okay, then,
So long as it's consistent with the, you know, or it doesn't fly in the face of what the donor's
Yep.
wishes are, then.
I'm comfortable that, you know, from a flood standpoint, it's already an elevated structure, elevated bluestone structure. So we can look into those type of aspects, but I don't see any issues there.
I met with the donor today for almost 2 hours. We cut the size of the structure down because the weight was slightly too high. By slightly, I mean it was double what it could handle.
Yeah.
We cut the pillars down, the base is about the same size, so it's gonna fit much more naturally in that area.
Good.
So I think I'll speak with them again tomorrow. I'll follow up, but I don't expect there to be any concerns. He'll actually be very happy with that decision I made.
Okay. If
I think
we're all,
probably the only other thing would be to talk to the transportation department, and make sure that there's no
Right.
reason that they foresee any
Mhm.
issues out there.
That's what I was gonna say, we need to talk to Tracy, 'cause
Ideal
this just popped in my mind, so.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I
we'll
was thinking
circle around
definitely
tomorrow.
snow plowing, things like that would, you know,
Yeah.
you wanna make sure.
We gotta talk to ours too, because we, you know, just wanna make sure there's no issue on our grounds that we're not aware of.
Right.
Okay, so.
All right,
Then
great.
generally, that's where we'd like to see Simon go forward.
Do you need a resolution or motion or anything like that, or just?
Just your direction.
I had a whole list of things, including the resignation, already too.
Sorry, Al.
Again, our community budget forum is gonna follow our regular business meeting on March 21st at 7 PM here in the boardroom for everyone. Our 23-24 calendar preferences, I know we were looking at the, dropping the first date in January. Is everybody okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Any other shifts in the calendar that we can think of?
The only other shift really is in April, and that is due to the budget deadlines. So as it's laid out, so it would be the second and fourth Tuesday,
Okay,
but again, that's because of state set budget deadlines.
I think that's fine. Everybody good with,
So one meeting in January.
Yep.
On the
Mhm.
16th, and then the altered dates in April.
Yep.
And our July reorg, you already set that to July 11th by resolution.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
DCMO BOCES, question and answer, election of BOCES board members. If we'd like to make nominations, need to be done by March 21st, and we'd have to prepare a resolution if we'd like to do that. Also, a resolution of support if nominations come forward to us again, right?
Right, you'll vote in April. Right now, they're just calling for
Okay.
nominations. So anybody, any district that does not have somebody sitting on the board that is going to be running beyond this year can put forward a nomination. Does not have to be a Walton resident, just cannot, they cannot have two schools represented at the same time.
So even if somebody knows a community member that would, like to, be on that board, we can nominate them if they come
Sure.
forward
Correct,
and represent Walton.
correct.
Is there any way we can put that out in a newsletter? Oh, actually, the reporter's here. If anyone would like to be nominated, please bring it to our attention so that we can make action by the 21st of March, for sure, and we'll get you some language if you need it. Next one, would we like to have Dr. McDonald request a BOCES administrative budget?
I had mentioned early on, as we were coming through the budget process, that I actually had mentioned to the former district superintendent, Perry Dewey, that this year, they're gonna come and explain the admin budget to the board. So the question is, now that we've switched hands to the new DS, I give you an update in the Friday letter regarding where they are. They have, I give him credit, 2 weeks on the job, and he made some significant changes to the budget. It's still not overall where I would like to be, but that's service decisions, not necessarily admin budget decisions. So, but if you would like, as a board, Mr. Rulo to either come or to Zoom in and them to do a presentation here, himself or his business manager or one or the other, then we will request it. It's just a matter of the pleasure of the board, because that's the budget we vote on. So, any thoughts?
I think after reviewing the information, I'm fine with, what they have done now. It's a lot different. I don't know as if we need somebody to come here and explain it necessarily versus meeting him.
Right.
Right.
But that can be done at any time.
Yep.
It doesn't actually have to be,
And he
for
is
the
going to do
administrative
that.
budget.
He is already, the end of this month, I believe, I have he's coming to the district to meet the administrative team, and see the district. And then after that, he does that circuit, then he's gonna switch to
Okay,
to meet
so
the
yeah.
boards.
Okay, so if everybody's comfortable with that, then we'll just have them do a meet and greet with the board on that timetable.
Okay.
Okay.
I will get the, as soon as they have a set draft and I get a clean copy, I will get that to you well in advance. And if you have any questions regarding it, you can let me know. If I can't answer them, I can get the answers. Okay? All right.
Okay, we'll move on to correspondence. And from correspondence, we got the Farm Credit East Scholarship Award press release, and from National FFA Week. In conjunction with National FFA Week, February 18th through the 25th, the Farm Credit East is pleased to announce the awarding of 8 scholarships to students involved in the National Future Farmers of America organization to support their supervised agricultural experience. And one of our recipients is Isabella Yetto of O'Neill High School in Walton, New York. Isabella's SAE focuses on equine care and management. So congratulations.
Melissa, if you'd like to speak to Isabella, get more detail on that, just let us know.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
It's
It's
an awesome thing.
wonderful to be represented only out of 8.
Out of 8.
Yep. It's terrific.
Additions to the agenda.
We have one addition to the consent agenda. It would be item 7D, and it is athletic recommendations for the spring coaching season.
Okay. Okay, so next is the consent agenda. We have personnel resignations, retirements, Mary Tomato resignation, effective June 23rd,
Right, that's due to retirement.
retirement, yeah, thank you. And personnel appointment of Nancy Salambini, Saglambini, excuse me. Long-term sub-teacher. And then personal athletic recommendations, which was added as 7D. Any discussion on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. New business, we have accepting donations. We have $1,000 from NYSER to the Walton Central School District to fund the end-of-year employee luncheon, $500 from Clarence Lepar to the Clarence A. Lepar Annual Scholarship for Advanced Professional Education, and $100 from Richard and Cecilia Northrop to the class of 2024 for the junior prom. We have a motion to accept those donations.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Under new business, we have approval of the clinical placement agreement. Any discussion on that?
And this is for speech, correct?
Correct. This is for
Speech and language.
evaluations that are more specialized than what we can do in-house.
Do we have a cost involved in this, or is this something the school is providing?
It's in the,
$100? per assessment, do we believe? Or, yeah,
Yep.
$100 per
$25
assessment.
for each follow-up session.
And this will be services, I guess, it'll be renewed upon mutual agreement, potentially through 2027 on a yearly basis
Correct.
after this year.
It's not it's not a frequent need. It's just when you get into a specialized case that our speech pathologist cannot reach. This is the first time that we've had this, that I'm aware of, for a specialized contract. I'm not sure if we've had anything before this or not, I don't recall. But it's not a frequent need.
You know, even where the cost is pretty reasonable for
Absolutely.
what service you're getting.
Yep, absolutely.
Any further discussion? Would entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved, or opposed? That is carried. And new business C, adopting the resolution authorizing partial settlement of vaping litigation.
Make a motion, we accept that?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. And we are up to supervisor's remarks.
So Rick is here. Rick, if you have any comments on your report?
Well, I was just checking to see if our Smart Schools project was approved, and it appears they did not get to it because there were so many plans that were at the review board phase. So I'll reach out tomorrow. They've been relatively quick this time around, and find out when the next review board meets, and hope that we get approval to move forward at that time.
And that was multiple renditions. They were very specific. I think I approved that thing 8 to 9 times. Would that be fair to say?
That would be fair to say.
So we finally met their threshold, and then they're taking it to committee.
So it's passed 4 different phases at this point, and it's at the final phase.
Okay.
Are we represented by the board on the safety committee? I don't know where we stood.
Mr. Bedine's on it.
Okay.
Admittedly, we haven't met as often this year, about every other month. There just has not been the agenda items. So we've met every couple months, gone over a few points, and that's really it.
We've changed it from monthly meet to meet, let the agenda drive the meeting. So if you need to meet 6 months in a row, great, but if you don't need it and you need 3 out of those 6 months, then it should be 3 out of those 6 months. I hate the concept of meeting to meet. I don't know about you all, but you know, everybody's busy.
I need a reminder on those when they're coming up.
Okay. I'll send you a calendar invite.
Phone call might be.
Yeah,
A phone call? I can do that, I can do that. It's accommodating as you need.
That's what we found.
Yeah. So you were the tech guy, I'm the anti-tech guy.
I have a phone too.
Fire 3 shots in the air.
It is about time you guys
You
met.
know where I
though.
live and what I do, 3 shots is nothing.
That's true.
We can agree it's about time they met though, right? These two had a conversation.
right. Me, a couple updates.
Yes, sir.
We've been coordinating, going back and forth, and I think we finally have a plan for the front window replacement, that portion of that project. Right now, and I'll get those details to you in documentation, but since I have it and we're together, I wanted to give it to you. The boardroom is going to be done second shift the week before spring break. And then the following week of spring break, the health office, all the way down through district office will be done and complete. So we will have this done down through here, but when we get done for spring break. So that's exciting to have that out of the way. It'd be nice to have it out of the way with IRT and everything going on and trying to fit everything into that short time of the summer. So, and if you remember, our subcontractor award was Forno Enterprises. So they've been very attentive to detail, as always. So we're pretty confident we'll get it done. Bus garage lighting, we've had a few different conversations around the need for additional lighting. We're going to add 8 LED outside much like we did Townsend School to increase the lighting in that parking lot, we're doing 8 around the building to give us the throw. They're on order, they'll be on order, or might be on order right now, and we're going to make that a priority and get at least if it's gonna take some time, there's some that we have to run wiring, there's some that are replacement lighting, we'll get those done quickly, especially for the voting and various things, as the concerns have been brought up for safety, so.
Will this be
That's
like a
in
dusk
process.
to dawn type sensor where they'll be on all the time, or
not
just when
sure.
somebody actually manually turns them
I'm
on?
not sure, they won't be
Okay.
into a network system like over here,
Okay,
so they're going to be just the mounted on-off, kinda like Townsend School,
okay.
so, but they'll be LED based. That's
It'd be
all I
nice,
have.
it'd be nice to have an eye sensor in those or something, so we're not.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Or at least a timer, worst case scenario.
I just want to acknowledge that, happy birthday with Dr. Seuss, and that there was a design a bookmark, with any reading theme, but it had to include the words Townsend School 2023, and these were in our board packets, from Madeline Cash, grade 5. Horton Hears Who is the Best, Townsend School 2023, in a beautiful design. So we do appreciate that contact from Townsend School, and getting those in our board packets always gives us a smile.
Thank you, Madeline.
Yep. And that was always
An
a
excellent
wonderful
job.
event. I was down when they received their awards. I happened to be in the office, and she was pretty happy to know that her envelope was coming to the board. That gave a little extra smile from her. Maybe I misread it, but I think she smiled because of that. So,
And she definitely draws way better than I could,
yeah, absolutely.
by far.
So it's always a fun event. There's a photo array on the website if you're interested in seeing what the kids did that day. It's cute.
Okay, no need for an executive session?
No, sir.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. We are